I'm sure that everyone in this room has known someone or heard of someone in the Valley that died of an opiate overdose. Well, if you knew everyone in the Lehigh Valley that died from an overdose in 2015, you would have attended 203 funerals. Crazy, right? So to try and prevent further heartbreak and loss, I'm going to give you guys some general information on opiate addiction itself, what goes on during an overdose, some things to how to cope with losing someone to an overdose, and also how to help someone who's suffering from addiction.
Come on, guys.
Okay, just to let everyone know, opiates aren't all bad. So your body makes natural opiates called endorphins. Because of this, the endorphin receptors in your brain, whenever you use opiates, they think that they're a good thing. They think that your body needs them. So lo and behold, addiction. Now that we're all aware of why your brain causes addiction, I'm going to give you guys some negative effects that happen and what happens during an overdose. So to only name a few, vomiting and diarrhea, so gross. Another thing is that your heart and your lungs slow down. You just become so relaxed, and that is the main cause of death from overdose, because your heart slows down so much that it just stops, and that's it. What comes next? Life, death. So here's some personal experiences and about people that I've known throughout the years. One ended in him overdosing and losing his life. The other one actually turns out to be a quite happy story. So I knew this guy, met him a couple years ago when he was 20 years old, and he'd been using for only a couple months. He almost overdosed, went to the hospital. Within a week, he was in rehab. He was in rehab for a year, and he came home, and for 7 months or so, he was clean. All of his friends were looking after him, his mom, his brother, his girlfriend, you know, making sure he was on the right path. Everyone kind of laid back after 7 or 8 months because they thought he was doing well. To everyone's surprise, he ended up dying about a year after that when he was 23, and he'd been using for about since a month after he got home. And he lost his battle, and he died when he was 23 years old. So just think of his mom and his brother and his girlfriend having to wake up every day and not having him in their life. It's terrible. So turn the page onto my next story. I met a guy who was a friend of a friend. I was 15, 7 years ago, and he had already been using for 2 years. He didn't care about his life. He didn't care what happened, didn't have much drive at all. However, his 7-year-old daughter wanted him to live, wanted him to be there for her life and teach her things and, you know, help her learn from his mistakes. So fast forward 7 years, she's 14 in her first year of high school. She comes home and hands her dad a pamphlet, and the front of the pamphlet reads, "Grieving the loss of a parent." I'm happy to say that after 9 years of his addiction with heroin, he was able to see his daughter finish her first year of high school in June, and now he's going to be a year clean in June.
Good for him.
Yeah. So lastly, if nothing else hits you guys tonight from what I've said so far, just think about that story and just know that if you tell someone you love them and if you care for them, you can save them. If someone's suffering, do something, tell them you love them, be the one to hand them their pamphlet. Thank you.
Hey, if I may, I would actually like to build on this story. I recently...
I'm not